The top story on the show is from India. 5 key states went to polls this month and all the rounds of polling finally concluded today. We now have the first projections from the exit polls for you, and we will get you all these details shortly. But first, let's take a look at which states went to polls and why these elections are so important. The 5 Indian states going to the polls are Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Telangana and Mizoram. Together, they are spread over 900,000 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, it is more than the size of France, Germany and Poland put together. Combined, these states have a population of over 184 million as per the last census of 2011. Again, that is more than the combined population of France and Italy. Now, in total, 15% of India's population resides in these 5 states. The mood in these states is absolutely crucial in deciding the government at the center. Now, as you can see, these states have a total of 83 out of 543 seats in the lower house of the parliament, which in India is known as the Lok Sabha, coming just months before the national polls scheduled for next year. Now let's get to the numbers, which is crucial. Starting with the largest Indian state in terms of area, that is Rajasthan. Here, the contest is between the 2 main national parties, the Indian National Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Congress came to power in the state back in 2018, despite falling 1 seat short from majority. In the 200-seat assembly, the Narendra Modi-led Bharatiya Janata Party came in second with 73 seats. Let's see what's in for the parties this time in the state. The voting was held only for 199 seats due to the death of a Congress candidate before polls in 1 constituency. As you can see here, according to my axis, Indian National Congress is projected to win about 86 to 106 seats. In the same, Bharatiya Janata Party is expected to get about 80 to 100 seats. Now here, according to the CNX, 94 to 104 seats INC might be able to bag, and BJP might be able to get about 80 to 90 seats. Mattress says comes up with a slightly different figure with 65 to 75 seats for the INC, which is the Indian National Congress, and the Bharatiya Janata Party with 115 to 130 seats. Now, it is important to understand here that the majority mark is 100. So, if we see here, according to my axis, INC is definitely, actually, it's kind of neck and neck with INC and BJP, and the CNX is making INC the winner. According to Mattress and in fact, a poll strat as well, BJP seems to be the clear winner. But Rajasthan, as expected, is going neck and neck at the moment. It's absolute. For an absolute answer, we will have to wait and watch. Moving southeast from Rajasthan, we get to Madhya Pradesh now. The central Hindi-speaking state of India was a bastion for BJP for decades. However, BJP's winning streak took a hit back in 2018, when Congress trumped at 114 seats in the 230-seat assembly. However, Congress could not hold on to power for long. Infighting toppled the government and BJP came back to power in the state with the support of this rebel and his supporters. Now to the projections for this year. Madhya Pradesh. Today's Chanakya says about 151 seats. Just to remind our viewers, 116 is the majority here out of the 230 seats. So with 116 as the majority, BJP, today's Chanakya has made the clear winner as BJP, with INC getting just 74 seats, far away from the majority mark. According to Mattress, BJP will be bagging about 118 to 130 seats, and INC will be getting about 97 to 107 seats. That's still short of the majority mark. Now, Polstrat is giving 106 to 116 to BJP. That also is short of the majority mark. INC is getting about 111 to 121 seats, and Dainik Bhaskar is giving, interestingly, 95 to 115 seats. That's just one seat below the majority mark, which is 116. And INC is getting about 105 to 120. Some interesting numbers coming in from Madhya Pradesh. Remember, BJP does not have a CM face here. So these numbers actually are extremely important, given in a country where the personality, politics and face of the party is extremely crucial in any state elections, or for that matter, general elections as well. All right, let's now move to Chhattisgarh, where the Congress won a majority back in 2018, and after winning 68 out of the 90 seats in the state, the BJP was a distant second after remaining in power in the state for previous 3 terms. And here are the projections for the 2023 state elections. All right, there's a total of 90 seats in Chhattisgarh, out of which I would like to tell you 46 is the majority mark. And according to Access My India, Indian National Congress is about to bag 40 to 50 seats. BJP is getting somewhat 36 to 48 seats. That's just 2 seats more than the majority mark. Now, Mattress is saying that 44 to 50 seats could be given to INC, and BJP might win about 36 to 42 seats. Now, Sea Water is saying 41 to 53 seats to INC and 36 to 48 seats to BJP. Now, these numbers are actually quite similar according to the 4 pollsters that we have put together. Some interesting numbers. Now, Pollstrat is saying 40 to 50 seats for INC and 35 to 45 seats to the BJP. Interesting numbers. Now, let's move on. Taking a southwards turn from Chhattisgarh, we get to the Indian state of Telangana, which has the cyber hub of Hyderabad, remember. Telangana was carved out of Andhra Pradesh back in 2013, and ever since, a regional party, Telangana Rashtra Samiti, has been in power. The party has a new name now. It's the Bharat Rashtra Samiti. In 2018 as well, the BRS retained the majority with 88 seats in 119-seat assembly, and the Indian National Congress was a distant second with just 19 seats. They failed to make any significant inroads in this state. And now to the interesting numbers again, the projections. There's a total of 119 seats in Telangana, out of which 60 is the majority. Now, the BRS, which is the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, according to today's Chanakya, is going to bag about 33 seats. The Indian National Congress plus its alliance is going to get about 71 seats. The BJP is far behind with just 7 seats. The CNX is saying that about 31 to 47 seats might be getting by the BRS, and the Indian National Congress and alliance might be getting about 63 to 79 seats. Again, BJP is about 2 to 4. So what we see here is basically that the competition more or less is between BRS and Indian National Congress. However, Indian National Congress seems to be doing much better than BRS. Now, what's also important in this is that BRS, which is known as the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, was before Telangana Rashtra Samiti. Some of the experts have been saying that they changed their name because they want to get the national party symbol, given that national elections, the general elections, are just 5 to 6 months away. And finally, let's move to the northeastern state of Mizoram, where regional party Mizo National Front holds power at the moment. The MNF bagged 26 seats out of the 20 in the assembly elections that were held last year. The Indian National Congress was again a distant second with just 5 seats. And this time, the state is witnessing a tight contest between the incumbent MNF and another regional party called the Mizoram People's Movement and the Indian National Congress. And now on to the projections for this year. All right, we seem to be getting some issue with pulling those data, but we will get you, don't worry. For now, to decode all of this, let's go across to a special guest who is joining us on this broadcast, a senior journalist from Bengaluru, R.K. Upadhyay. Mr. Upadhyay, thank you so much for joining us here on WION World is One.
Yes, thank you.
The numbers we just stated and the numbers keep flowing in. What mood are you seeing here, the kind of trends that you're seeing? How are you assessing it?
Well, I think it's as expected, it's a close fight between Congress and BJP. I would say it's a 50-50 because Congress has made a big surge in Telangana. It looks like they might win and form a government there. which is a big plus for them, and it's a very big setback for KC Chandrasekhar Rao. And of course, in Rajasthan, BJP is doing well, which means that you may have a new government there as anticipated, because in the last 40 years there has always been a change of government. Madhya Pradesh is very interesting. I mean, it's supposed to be a very tight fight, but some of the polls are saying that BJP is doing very well and they might win there. So, this is as close as this could get in the assembly round, which is, billed as the semi-finals, because in another 4 to 5 months, we're going to have the Lok Sabha elections. And as we know, across the country, it is the BJP and the Congress who are fighting each other.
Absolutely.
In these, 5 states, you look at the 3 states, which are key Hindi belt states. That is where the direct fight is going to be between Congress and BJP, and where there are 65 Lok Sabha seats. I mean, the Congress might have made a few gains here and there, but when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, BJP has always done well in the last couple of elections, and they won 62 out of 65 in 2019. So, I mean, this is no indication of what is going to come in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
You make a fair point, Mr. Upadhyay, but if I had to put you in the spot and ask you if you could pick out one state from these 5 states that could become the crucial litmus test for next year's general election, what would your assessment be?
Well, I think it's Madhya Pradesh, because Madhya Pradesh is among the middle states where Congress can still give a good fight to the BJP. And I think the BJP is a little bit nervous about how things are going to go in the rest of the Hindi heartland, because the situation has changed since 2019. Of course, Uttar Pradesh is stable for them, where Yogi Adityanath is going to bring them maximum number of seats. But look at the next 3 states with the big numbers. That is West Bengal, which has 48 seats. Maharashtra, which has 48 seats. West Bengal, 42, and Bihar, 40. In these 3 states, it's not the same scenario as it was in 2019, because in Maharashtra, the Shiv Sena, which is an ally of BJP, is split. And there are 2 factions. One of them is with the BJP, but then we don't know what's going to happen. And right. Then you have Bihar, where Nitish Kumar was the partner there. Now he has gone away, so we don't know what's going to happen. In West Bengal, they had won 18 seats last time, but since then they have not done too well.
Right.
So we need to see how things are going to pan out.
Mr. Upadhyay, if you could focus on Mizoram for now. Of course, we've been talking about the Indian National Congress versus the BJP, which is obviously going to play out in next year's election as well. But in Mizoram, we are seeing the regional parties competing with each other. How do you assess that?
No, I think Mizoram has its own issues, and it's a very, strongly regional party, which, is definitely going to have a say. And that is what we see. Of course, the BJP has made some inroads in the Northeast, especially in Assam and a few other states. And Congress has almost been wiped out of, the Northeast. So here, I think it has gone on the expected lines because, these 2 regional parties have done pretty well in Mizoram.
All right, Mr. Upadhyay, before I let you go, just one question. When we put out these kind of exit polls out there, what is the mindset that the voters get? Do you really think they read into this and that's how they might vote for next year's general election?
Well, I don't think so, because, you see, the general elections are totally different from, how the state elections go. As we have seen, in the last elections, in the last round of elections as well, in 2018, the Congress seemed to be, resurgent, and they were hoping to do much better than what they did in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. In fact, they were thinking of, dethroning BJP and coming to power. But we all know what happened. When the Lok Sabha elections came, Mr. Prime Minister Modi was able to sweep through the entire northern belt. And of course, the BJP is yet to make any kind of impact in the south. And it continues to be a problem, down south. Of course, also in Karnataka, they have had a little setback because they lost the assembly elections to Karnataka, where they have 25 Lok Sabha seats as of now. But with the Congress government now in Karnataka, it might not be possible for them to win that kind of a number. So that's the reason why they've gone into an alliance with the regional party, JDS, that is Mr. Devegowda's party, and they're going to give maybe 4 or 5 seats to JDS. So they're looking at the numbers wherever it's going to come from. Because of the uncertainties in some of the states in the northern belt, they're trying to make this kind of a alliance in Karnataka. So
Right.
overall, I think the BJP strategy is to cross the halfway mark of 272.
All right, Mr. Upadhyay, thank you so much for decoding Indian politics for our international viewers, and thank you for getting us all those insights here on WION. All right, so two broad themes emerging as of now. One, Rajasthan is neck and neck and anyone can win. And Madhya Pradesh, surprisingly, the ruling BJP is expected to hold on to power rather than convincingly. So for more on this, you can also join us on Sunday, which is December 3rd, because that was all about the exit polls. And for final results, you will have to switch on to WION on December 3rd, Sunday. We will be tracking the developments closely for you all day.
It's been called the final battle before the big war. Just months ahead of the general elections, poll results will be declared for 5 key Indian state assemblies. Which way is the wind blowing? Will the BJP-led NDA dominate? Or will the Congress emerge as a serious challenger? And how will it influence the opposition-India alliance? Catch India's race to power all day on WION.
Now from India, let's move on. It has been a usual election season in Bangladesh. Protests, violence and political uncertainty have gripped the nation once again. Today was the last day for the submission of nomination papers, and the main opposition party was busy, not filing official documents, but holding a day-long protest across the country. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party has decided to boycott the January elections. For months now, they have been demanding Sheikh Hasina to step down and allow a caretaker government to oversee the polls. The demands have fallen on deaf ears. The opposition has resorted to holding protests. On many days, public transport has also taken a hit. But experts say that these measures, these protests, have hardly made any difference on the ground. At the moment, we have about 26 parties that have filed for their nomination papers. But apart from the ruling Awami League, the others are relatively very small parties. To give you context to this, in 2018 elections, the 4 parties apart from Awami League together got about just 25 seats, and this is out of the 300 total seats. So democracy has come under the scanner in Bangladesh. Opposition, activists and Western liberal democracies have made 3 accusations. First, that there is a massive crackdown against opposition leaders. Second, that party activists are being arrested across the country for merely protesting. And third, questions are being raised over the fairness of polls in the absence of a caretaker government. Now, you see, Sheikh Hasina has been in and out of office over the past 30 long years. She was elected in 1996, then in 2008, then in 2013, and then again in 2018. Hasina has had 4 successful terms as the Prime Minister. But if ground issues are taken into consideration, next year's election looks like an uphill task for Hasina. If she wins with a large mandate, it will be in sharp contrast to the anger on the streets. Campaigning has officially begun for Indonesia's presidential elections as candidates gear up for what's shaping up to be a three-way race. The presidential hopefuls have vowed a peaceful race amid rising concerns that their rivalry may sharpen religious and ethnic divides in the world's most populous Muslim-majority country. And for a deep dive into the downhill run to the polls, we leave you with this report. More global news will continue on the other side.
Indonesia, the world's third largest democracy, goes to polls on February 14. With nearly 205 million Indonesians eligible to vote. The election will determine who succeeds incumbent President Joko Widodo, currently serving his second and final term. Two of the three presidential candidates, both former governors, opened their campaigns in full swing on Tuesday. They will take on Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto, who has lost twice before. On the first day of the 75-day campaign season, ruling party nominee and former governor of Central Java, Ganjar Pranowo, launched his bid in the eastern city of Merauke. And his running mate Muhammad Mahfud backed him from west, as he began his tour in the city of Sabang in Aceh province.
We are looking at villages because that is the area that requires attention. Along the journey to get here, I saw roads. Some are in good condition and some are not. That was like a signal to us that this is what we have to resolve. This is what the next government owes to the people, to take care of problems like this.
Meanwhile, Anies Baswedan, who served as the governor of Jakarta until last year, began his campaign in the capital city itself. And his running mate Muhaimin Iskandar campaigned in Mojokerto. Their bid in both cities indicates increased focus on the key battleground of Java, which is home to more than half of Indonesia's 270 million people.
The problem is people, families living in cities pay a lot of money to buy rice, but the farmers only receive a little. So there are losses in between. Do we want to keep this or change it? Change it. We have to change.
Frontrunner Prabowo Subianto is expected to start campaigning on Friday. He has now opened up a wide lead over his closest rival, Pranowo, in opinion polls. This comes despite his controversial decision to pick Widodo's son, Gibran Rakabuming Raka, as his running mate.